Hi guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So today, for the very first time on my channel, I am going to be doing the mid-year book FreakOut tag. So we are going to go through these questions as quickly as possible, and I won't be going through like a full synopsis for any of the books that I mention here as part of the answers to these questions, just because I don't want to make the video too long. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is the best book that I've read so far in 2021, and that would be Wings of Ebony by J.L. I freaking loved this book. I haven't heard too many people talk about this one, but I loved this book. This is a young adult fantasy, and I feel like at the time that I read it, it must have been a perfect time for me, but this gave me everything that I just needed at the time that I read it. Like I said, it's fantasy, so we had the magic systems, it had, family aspects in there. I really related to this because it focused on the relationship between two sisters. So we had an older sister and a younger sister, so that reminded me of the relationship between me and my younger sister, and I said that in my review that I have of this book. And so we had that relationship. We had the relationship between our main character and her best friend. We had how she felt about the town that she grew up in. And then we had the relationship between the two sisters and the woman that raised her, which kind of felt like a grandmother figure, which, I was also raised sort of, with my grandmother. And then it just had everything that I just felt like I could relate to in this story. So far, nothing has been able to top how I felt while I was reading this book. 5 out of 5 stars. Still one of my favorites of the year so far. I would highly recommend, if you have not picked this book up yet, please do. It is wonderful. I'm not sure if it would hit the same for you like it did for me, but I freaking loved this book. It was just one of those books that I just thought about way after reading it. I was like, man, I can't wait for the sequel. This is one of the only books where I follow the author, and I'm keeping track of when we are getting a sequel because I cannot wait. I love this book. So the next question is the best sequel you've read so far this year in 2021. And I haven't read a lot of sequels so far this year, but the best one that I've read out of the ones I have read would be The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. And I did not have high hopes going into this because if you watch my review for this, I read Mistborn: The Final Empire and I thought it was okay, but I wasn't in a rush to continue on with the series. But I love this, and I think I love this because it was more focused on the politics, and I have just realized the more fantasy that I read, I am just someone that loves the politics in fantasy, and this was just that, and I love that. And I loved the characters in this. I love the twists and the turns that we got in this. Listen, I could go on and on about this, but I won't. But I love this. And if you are somebody that read the first book in the Mistborn trilogy and you don't know if you want to continue, I would say give the second one a try, because I was hesitant and I didn't know if I wanted to read the second one, but I loved it. So I would definitely give it a try because I love this one. Best sequel, hands down. Next question is new release you haven't read yet but want to. That is Ace of Spades, and this just came out a couple of weeks ago, maybe, and I am really excited about this. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I think it's like a dark academia setting. I don't really know too much about it, but I just know that I really want to get to it, and this is definitely something that I'm going to be picking up within the next couple of weeks. So I'm really excited about it. The next question is the most anticipated releases for the second part of the year. And I was able to narrow it down to 2. I'm pretty sure I have more than that, but just like thinking about it, I can only come up with 2 off the top of my head. And one of them is a sequel, and that is Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong, and that is a sequel to These Violent Delights. And then the other one is, I think, from a debut author, and that is Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. The next question is biggest disappointment. I hated to mention this the first time that I talked about this on my channel, and I hate to mention it again because everybody seems to love this book. But my biggest disappointment is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. And I no longer own that book because I sold it back to my local bookstore. But for whatever reason, I just was not able to connect with that story like I wanted to. I don't know what it was. I still can't figure out why. I just could not connect with that story. The magic system was really confusing. I'm just not sure if it was the way that it was told to us and how like the information was just like being thrown to us. I don't know if it was because I'm just not familiar with the Arthurian legends, because that's kind of what the magic system was supposed to be based off of. But I just was not vibing with that story, and I tried so hard. I really tried so hard with that story, and it really pains me to say that. Now, I said it before and I'll say it again. Now, when that sequel comes out, if people are raving about the sequel just as much as they were raving about the first one, I might try to push through it again. Maybe. We shall see. But I just was not feeling it for whatever reason. The next question is the biggest surprise of the year. And that actually would go to Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. And this is a novella by him. And this little sucker surprised the heck out of me because this story was not the story that I thought that I was getting out of it. So I will tell. So this is supposed to be about a group of friends who tried to use a mannequin to play a joke on one of their other friends in a movie theater. That's the premise of this story. That's not really what this story is about. And that's all that I'm going to say. And I want more people to read it because I want more people to be just as shocked as I was, because I was like, what the heck was that? And this is, again, one of those stories that after I read it, I literally was like, what the heck did I just read? And it was a good what the heck did I just read, because this was one of those books that days later, I was like, what the heck did I just read? And this was my first introduction into Stephen Graham Jones. And I have another book by him that I haven't read yet, which is The Only Good Indians. But that just made me even more excited to read another book by him because, boy, this little novella had me shook. I would recommend this. If you haven't read anything by him, I would start with this one. If you read something by him and you didn't like it, I would read this. If you didn't like this one, I don't know what to tell you, but to me, this was good. Biggest surprise, definitely. So the next question is favorite new author, debut, or new to you? And I was trying not to repeat anything in these questions, but I can't help it. But my favorite new author would have to be JL again, author of Wings of Ebony, just because, again, this book was everything to me. Like I said, I don't know, it was the time that I read it, and it just hit different for me, but this was amazing. I can't say that enough. I can't recommend it enough. But I know that she's written another series, I think, that I need to pick up that might be, I think it was middle grade that I want to pick up, but yes, she's it for me. So the next question is newest fictional crush. And I don't usually have crushes in books, so this was kind of hard. But I did do a reread this year of Vicious by B.E. Schwab, and this is one of my favorite, all-time favorite books. And so if I had to pick a crush, I guess it would be Victor from this book. I love me some Victor. I know in these books we're not supposed to like these characters. They're like morally gray and they're bad, but we have to root for somebody in these books, and I love me some Victor. Victor. Newest favorite character is the next question. And again, I was not trying to repeat any books, but I couldn't help myself. And I have to go back to the Well of Ascension. And if you haven't guessed it, because if you haven't watched my review of this, then you won't know. But my newest favorite character is Elend from Well of Ascension. And Elend, I feel, just had the best character arc that I've ever seen in a book thus far, because how he started off in this book and where he ended up was two totally different places, and I've just never seen a character go from whoop whoop like that. That just blew my mind. And you know what? He might be my fictional crush, because if Vin didn't want him, I might take him after the way he changed. So, but I do like him as a character as a whole. So I would have to go with Elend for that one. Now, the next question is book that made you cry. I don't usually cry. Like, I don't usually read things that bring out that kind of emotion. So I really don't have an answer for that one. Like, I really try to think about everything that I've read this year so far. And it really hasn't been a lot, not compared to a lot of other booktubers out there. I mean, it's been a lot for me, but not compared to a lot of other booktubers. And I haven't read anything that has made me cry. Nothing like that. So I don't have anything for that answer. I can't even make anything up. So we're going to skip that one, and we're going to go to the next question. And the next question is a book that made you happy. Amari and the Night Brothers. I really enjoyed this one, and this is by B.B. Alston. And this is just one of those feel-good stories. You know, we have Amari. I think she's like 12 in this book. This is also a middle grade, which I would highly suggest everyone pick up and read. But it's just one of those books that just make you happy when you read it. You know, she's learning about this fun magical world for the first time, and you know, even though this book is dealing with a lot of heavy things, it just has a lot of happy moments for her just seeing this magical world for the first time, her at the end coming into her own and realizing, like, you know, I am me. This is what you're gonna get. This is all of me. You know, I'm it. You know, when she finally realizes that just made me so happy. Like, finally, girl, yes, that just made me so happy. And just the ending of this just made me so happy. Like, I would definitely recommend this one. I haven't heard too many people talk about it anymore, and please, guys, pick this one up. I would highly recommend this one. If you want to be happy, read this one. Again, it does have those hard topics, but there are so many like happy moments, and just so many, like, because it's middle grade, it has like so many of those innocent moments. I would definitely recommend this one. The next question is the most beautiful book you've bought this year or have received. That would be Son of the Storm by Suyi Davies Okinbowa. This book is gorgeous. And I've looked at a lot of books on my shelves, but I don't think any of them is as pretty as this one. Besides this one, which I know you guys are tired of me talking about this one, so I wasn't going to mention this one again, but I mean, it is beautiful. But this one, oh my gosh. And I just got this one. If you watch my birthday haul video, I just got this. But, and that's part of the reason why I bought it. It's because it's so beautiful. But, oh my gosh. Oh, it's so beautiful. Woo. If you need another close-up. Beautiful. The next question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? All of them. I can't like pinpoint just one, like just certain books. I mean, I have a summer TBR video. That's a good place to start. So, you know, I'm trying to complete the Mistborn trilogy. I'm trying to complete the Red Rising trilogy, the Ember and the Ashes quartet. What else was I trying to complete? The Wolf Song Quartet by TJ Klune. I would be here all day if I was really trying to tell you guys everything that I was trying to. There's just a lot. A lot of books, all the books. So we're not going to sit here and try to list them all. Everything, all of them. But that is all that I have for you guys today. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.